Previously on Billy G Saves the Wild.
So we have 6 more years to get 3 or more championships. There we go. All right, Nybeck is gone. That frees up a little bit of cap space for our next move. There we go. That is a great pickup. He fits really good on the 3rd and 4th line. And he's really young, so I think this guy is going to be great for us. Racking. So he fits good on that 3rd with Addison. Gets a +1. All right, I like those. So since Dumba is pretty cheap, let's do 2 years at like 5.5. 2 years, 6.5 for Pionk. 2.75 for 2 years for Maxime Comtois. 1.25 for 8 years. See if he takes that.
You guys know what this is all about, right? Right? What's it all about? Virgie? That. This is about winning.
All right, welcome back to Billy G Saves the Wild. If you can remember from last episode, we left off on a cliffhanger just before, we're 2 days before the trade deadline. We left on the cliffhanger of the re-signings. So I believe we offered one to Pionk, Dumba, Comtois, and to Lola. And we didn't offer one to Wallander, Forster, Foligno, Brodin, and yeah. So, 2 days before the trade deadline, so let's sim a couple days and see if these guys sign. So we'll advance day. Cole Perfetti is fully healed. All right, that's good. Cole Perfetti was coming off a sprained ankle, I want to say. So we'll take Forrester out. So we'll go Hartman down to the 4th, and then Beckman back down to the 3rd, and Perfetti back to center. And then we got to fix some special teams. So we'll take Addison off the power play, put Perfetti back on the first unit, put Bedard back at wing. Power play looks good. 4-man. Take Beckman will come off for Perfetti. Perfetti back down to center. We'll do Bedard and Lambos at D. Alright, penalty kill. Lafton, Comtois, Wallander, Lambos, Trennan, Talola, Racken, and Dumba. Alright, that looks good. Do Perfetti back on the 3-on-3. Looks good. 4-on-4. We'll do Bedard back at defense. For Perfetti coming in at center. Number 2 looks good. Continued. We'll do take out. Put Beckman in. Hartman will come off for Comtois. There we go. Alright. Kotkaniemi back down. Lafton out for Perfetti. And that looks good to me. Extra attacker should be the same. Shootout. Alright, that looks good to me. Goalie still Wallstedt with Skinner backing up. Scratch players Foligno, Brodin, and Forrester. Okay, should we I think I'm going to have to send Brodin down. Yeah, let's do it. Has to be done. He's at a 75 overall, so Brodin will go down, and we'll bring back Bowie. There we go. Best AHL lines. All right, so let's sim one more day. Sim the Washington game. Advanced day. And Comtois, it was an easy decision to renew my contract with you. Sounds good. Pionk, it was an easy decision to renew my contract with you. And Dumba, it was an easy decision to renew my contract with you. And Tulola, it was an easy decision. So we got Tulola for 8 more years. That's good. All right, what should we be? We're going to be conservative buyer. Actually, I'm going to... let's go in, I guess. Go into the trade deadline. See if there's any players. Ooh, Jack Hughes. Vesalainen. Limbaum. Kevin Fiala. Still got 2 more years at over 10 mil. Trade alert. Montreal Canadiens send B. Gallagher to Colorado Avalanche in exchange for Giroux and Bobkov. All right, so I don't like the trade deadline screen. We'll just exit, and then we'll look at if there's any significant trades. All right, so we get a 4-1 win against the Capitals. All right, Chicago acquires Tyler Bertuzzi and Robert Hagg from the Jets. Puljujärvi goes to Arizona. I wonder how good he is for a bunch of players from the Islanders. Josh Morrissey goes to the Blues. Edmonton acquires Pierre-Luc Dubois and Ryan Murphy from Winnipeg. Boston acquires Anthony Duclair from Pittsburgh. Victor Olofsson goes to Carolina. From Buffalo, they get Avery Russell and a third. Jacob Larson goes to Chicago. Jesper Bachquist goes to Tampa Bay. Cody Glass goes to LA. From Nashville, Nashville gets a second and a third with a defenseman. John Gibson goes to Montreal. Brandon Gallagher goes to Colorado. So not like any blockbuster trades, I don't think, unless I'm missing somebody. But all right, so that's the trade deadline. Trade deadline of 2028. We are tied in the Central with the Stars at 80 points. We do have 2 more games in hand than the Stars, so we could end up in first if we get a couple wins. But the Oilers having a good year. The Leafs, the Lightning having good years. Rangers, I think, are leading the league. Or they're tied with the Oilers. All right, so we're still battling it out for that first in our division. So we still have to be playing pretty good. But I think we're completely healthy right now. So let's continue with the season and see where we end up here. I think we're going to be able to make playoffs again, so that's good. That's good coming off of 3 Stanley Cups. So let's sim 10 more games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we'll sim to Columbus. All right, at Philly. 2-1 loss. Home against the Islanders, 5-1 win. Pittsburgh, 3-2 win. San Jose, 3-1 win. San Jose again. 5-3 win. All right, still playing good. Anaheim, 5-4 OT win. Vancouver 4-0 win. Trennan has been injured with post-concussion syndrome. That might be a little bit of a long one. So our fourth line center goes out. So let's move Tolola over to center because that is his true position. He does have an 80 face-off, so that's good. And then we'll bring in... Let's see, should we bring in Foligno? Yeah, let's just bring in Foligno for that fourth line. Still get a +2 on that fourth line. So that should be... Let's look at the penalty kill, actually. Okay, we'll just move Tolola over to center. And that should be good. All right, 6-3 win against St. Louis. LA 3-2 loss. 4-3 loss against the Avs. So we're 45-22-4 now. All right, so we did jump a little bit in our division. So we're first in our division with 94 points after that 10 games we simmed. We're 5 ahead of the Stars now. I think we'd have to go on pretty good of a run if we want to win the President's Trophy. All right, let's see how long Trennan is going to be out. He returns June 17th. Okay, that might be into the playoffs, if I remember. All right, so March, April, May, June. Okay, so I think Trennan is going to be out for the rest of the year here. So we might need to bring somebody up. But for now, I guess let's just keep simming until if we get another injury, then we might bring another player up. We'll see. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 more games left. Let's just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do 6 games this time. All right, Columbus. AHL player. We'll do best lines. 5-2 win against Columbus. 5-3 win against Tampa Bay. Toronto 4-2 loss. Colorado 4-2 win. 5-2 win. Iowa player. Should have done best lines, but I did continue. 5-2 win against Dallas. 6-3 win against Tampa Bay. Now we're 50, 23, and 4. All right, let's double check. We're still winning games, so that's good. All right, we got 104 points. Stars have 97. All right. Oh, we're leading the league now by 2 points with a game in hand. Oh, President's Trophy. All right, let's see if we can pull off a President's Trophy here. We're hot. We're hot at the end of the season. Matt Boldy leading the team with 87 points, 54 goals on that second line. That second line is just ripping it up. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more games left. So let's sim to the 16th. Vegas. 3-2 loss. Shootout win. 4-3 against the Blues. 6-2 win against Seattle. 2-1 OT win against the Yotes. And the last game of the year. Ooh, 4-3 loss. Let's see if that cost us that last loss. Flames they're all right. I wonder if they're going to make... Yep, so they got into the playoffs. All right. The moment of truth. We have 110 points. Oilers have 109. Ooh, the Leafs have 110. So did we tie? Who has the most regulation wins? I wonder if that's the tiebreaker. It might be us. We have 53 wins. They only have 52. We might have just pulled off the President's Trophy right there. I don't know if we can check. Regular season has ended. Okay. So let's look at some stats here. Matt Boldy with 92 points this year. Let's go entire league. All right. So we are at the top. We have 53 wins. So I think that'll be a President's Trophy winning season right there. God, we were hot at the end of that year. End of those 2 months or whatever that was. All right, so goals for is 3.44, which is good. Is that the highest in the league? Let's see. No, it's almost. So we were third in the league in scoring. Damn, Detroit and the Flames. So Flames score a lot, but they get scored on a lot. All right, so we had a goals against of 2.63, which is second least in the league, so that's good. So we're scoring a lot and we're not getting scored on right now. Power play 20.9. Oh, Detroit had a really good power play. So we're second on the power play. Penalty kill. I think we're in the middle. We had like 84, something like that. Yeah, we're pretty in the middle for penalty kill at 84.7%. But that's all right. Don't mind that. Home, we were 27-14-0. Away, we were 26-11-4. And our last 10 were 7-3. All right, so that's another good season. I think we get the President's Trophy. I'm not quite sure because we did tie in points, but we did have one more win. All right, Matt Boldy with 92 points. Is that a career high for him? It is. So Matt Boldy making it fucking happen on that second line. 57 goals. Plus 41. And he's not even on the first line. Oh my god. Kotkaniemi with second on the team with 76. Got a lot of assists. Helping Matt Boldy get those goals. Tippett, 74 points. Hold on. Let's see what Kotkaniemi is compared to last year. All right, so that's a bump up from last year. Not a career high for him, but that's still a really good year for Kotkaniemi on that second line. Getting a lot of assists, 62 assists. Tippett, 74 points. A little bit better than last year. Not as good as his 101-point season a couple years ago, but I don't know if that'll ever be beat for Tippett. We'll see. Never know. So good year for Tippett. Cole Perfetti on that first line, 71 points. So not a bad year for our first line. It's just our second line is just so good. So it's a little bit of a decrease from last year for Perfetti. But 71 points I'm not going to complain about. Plus 8. The power play points maybe just weren't there for him this year. He did have 12. Kaprizov with 70 points. Little bit down from last year. Not as many goals. He wasn't even. Like compared to 2 years ago. The power play points. That's the big difference right there. 33 2 years ago. 16 this year. 15 last year. I don't know what to do about that, really. So an even year for Kaprizov. Still not terrible, but all right. Bedard, 62 points. It's a little bit of a down year for Bedard. He's a +2. Power play points only 12. So I don't know what Bedard's problem is, why he's not developing any more than an 87. Is it a bug or something with his game? Because he's on a first line that his scheme fits perfectly. So it's not the scheme fit. It's not his playing time. I don't know what else it could be. I think it just might be bugged. Which kind of sucks, because he could be like a 96 overall player, because he's a franchise medium. I don't know. It's weird. Beckman with 50 points. Compared to last year, what was that? He played the whole year this year, so his pace wasn't as good, but career high 50 points. 15 power play points for him. That's pretty good. He's on that third line, so his ice time's not the greatest. But still a pretty good year for Beckman. He was only a +1. Pionk with 41 points as a defenseman. That's up from last year. It's a +26. That's a good year for Pionk. Comtois, first year with the Wild. 34 points. That does beat last year. Plus, he only played 73 games, so he must have been hurt a little bit this year. He's a +2. So his pace was way better than last year. It's a decent third line guy. Lafton, 34 as well. A little bit of a decrease from last year. He was on Toronto last year. He had a really good plus minus last year. But still, not a bad third line season there. Matt Dumba with 33. Decrease from last year. He had 41. 55 the year before that. Power play points weren't really there this year. So our first unit power play must not be that great. It might be because Lambos isn't really an offensive player. But we get a +5, so that's the reason I have him on there. Ryan Hartman with 27, that's about the same, I want to say, yeah. Wow, exactly the same, except he had a better plus-minus. And he didn't get very much playing time either, so... yeah, way better of a year for Hartman. Lambos with 23. A little bit of a decrease from last year points-wise. But plus-minus, he almost doubled last year. 8 power play points. So, that's a pretty decent year. I think Lambos might cap out at about 30 points per season in the NHL. He hasn't had 30 points yet, so I think his peak would probably be like 30, 35 maybe. Because he's not that much of a offensive player, but he does get a lot of good plus minus, so that's fine for us, I guess. Tolola, 23 as well as a fourth line center. Or I guess he played most of the year at wing. A couple shorthanded goals. 10 minutes of ice time. All right, I don't mind that. So Tolola's going to be basically another Ryan Hartman, I think, with the scheme fit and everything. So that'll be good for us. Trenin got hurt, played 69 games, 17 points. I think he would have been about the same if he would have played all year. But that's a fourth line center. Yeah. Just over 9 minutes a game. All right. Wallander, what did you do compared to last year? Not as good point or plus minus wise, so about the same. Played a couple more games this year, so his pace wasn't as good as last year. just about the same ice time. But still good plus minus, so that's fine. He's not really an offensive guy either. Addison, what do you do? 13 points. A little bit down from last year, but his plus minus was better this year. He didn't have any power play points. He was on the power play for some games. Not a lot, though. Just over 13 minutes of ice time as a third pair defenseman. So I guess that's fine for Addison. He still had a good plus minus. Rakin, 12 points. That was his rookie year. Almost 15 minutes of ice time. He had a little bit on the penalty kill, so that's fine. He's not going to be a point guy really for us either. Foligno in 22 games had 7 points. Yeah, so I think this is going to be Foligno's last year. Under 10 minutes of ice time. All right. Forrester got 2 points in 4 games. Maybe should have played him a little bit more. He is 26 though, so he's not like, it's not like we're wasting his potential. He is a top 9. So he'll be in the lineup if we have injuries. All right, goalies. Wallstedt with 42 wins this year, 19 losses. Skinner 11 wins, 7 losses. Save percentage, actually Skinner had better, but goals against were the exact same. 42 wins though, that's another good year for Wallstedt. All right. I like when I don't have to worry about those goalies. They just kind of, being on a good team, you don't really have to worry about your goalies that much. Awards? Can we look? I guess we can't look for this year. So we'll see if that extra win is the tiebreaker for points. All right, let's advance some days, see who we got in the first round here. And we have St. Louis Blues, who went 44, 33, and 5 in the regular season. All right, let's look at the Blues. All right, they got a pretty good first line here. They actually might have a better first line than us. So they have Rantanen, who is a sniper, at 90. Robert Thomas at a 90. Okay, he's a two-way, so... And power forward. So they may have like a +2, maybe a +3 on this line. But that's a really good first line for the Blues. Not a bad second line. Third line, not bad. They got an 86 with Schmaltz. And not a bad fourth line either. So they have pretty good top line and depth-wise. I think our second line will be able to take advantage of their second line for sure. Hopefully, it'll be more of the regular season for us. Defensemen. They got 2 stud defensemen. And then not bad depth-wise. A little bit older depth-wise. Norm Shea, defensive defenseman. All right. Who they got in net? Emmanuel Apple at an 84. Gorgiev at an 83 as a backup. All right, so Blues don't look bad, actually. All right, so that'll be a pretty good matchup, I think. Hopefully we can beat those guys and get another run at the Cup this year. So if we look at our lines, what should we do? Foligno did stay at a 78 all year. So maybe we just keep him in for the playoffs. The other guy, only guy that I would maybe consider would be this guy, Harry Madsen. In the AHL, he's an 81 overall, top 6. He's a playmaker, though, so I don't know if he would really work on the 4th line. So I think we would just keep him in the AHL. Maybe Leopold, 79 overall. He's 1 overall better than Foligno. But 4th line guy. Foligno's definitely earned ice time on this team, so I don't know. I think we're just going to keep it the same for our roster going into the playoffs. Iowa Wild had a good year, 51, 25, and 6. I don't really look at Iowa that much, but still a good year for them. All right, so that'll be the end of the 2028 regular season. Next video, we'll get into the playoffs. So a little bit of a shorter episode, but that's fine. I find the second half of these regular season episodes are kind of normally shorter, especially when we don't do anything at the trade deadline. But yeah, we'll see if we won the President's Trophy. I still don't know. I wonder if it tells you in the messages. Nah, I don't think it would. But I think we did. I think if we have a tie in points but have more wins, I think it would go to us. So I'm going to say it. President's Trophy winning season for the second time for the Minnesota Wild. I'm claiming it now. If it's wrong, I'll apologize. But for now, I think it's true. All right, next episode, we'll get into playoffs. First round against the Blues. And let's go for 4 in a row, baby. Thank you for watching. Peace out. Have a good one. Go Wild.